We don't have the millions, the megaphone, or the donors, but what we do have is the truth. And we do have our voice. And we will use it to hurt the Trump campaign.
Hey, America First lovers. Today we are gonna talk about the 3 most important things Nick Fuentes has said about the upcoming Michigan operation as part of Groyper War 2. Nick has been laying out his plan to rally Groypers in Michigan, and let me tell you, it's a strategy that's as bold as it is brilliant. We are going to break down the top 3 points Nick made about this crucial operation, and why they matter so much for the future of the America First movement. So, let's dive in and see why Nick's Michigan strategy is not just clever, but could be the game changer we need. One of the most ingenious aspects of Nick Fuentes' strategy for the Michigan operation is his plan to use Trump's own words against him. Nick has made it clear that the Groypers on the ground in Michigan will be focusing on convincing Republican voters not to support Trump unless he goes back to the promises he made in the past. This isn't about creating new demands, it's about holding Trump accountable to the very things he said he would do, like instituting an immigration moratorium, banning Muslims from entering the country, and reducing legal immigration. By sticking to Trump's own words, Nick is putting the former president in a position where he either has to honor his past commitments or risk losing the support of his most loyal base.
He decides not to vote other than himself. We are just an instrument. We are just a tool.
The brilliance of this strategy lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. By focusing on Trump's own promises, Nick is making it difficult for Trump to dismiss these demands as radical or unreasonable. After all, these are the policies that helped Trump gain the support of the America First movement in the first place. By reminding voters of what Trump once stood for, Nick is reigniting the passion that drove so many people to support Trump in 2016. It's a powerful tactic because it cuts through the noise and brings the conversation back to the core issues that matter most to the base. Furthermore, this approach showcases Nick's strategic genius. Instead of attacking Trump from the outside, Nick is using Trump's own words as a weapon to push him back towards the principles that made his campaign so successful. It's a move that forces Trump to confront the reality that his base hasn't forgotten the promises he made, and they won't accept anything less than a full commitment to those principles. This isn't just a political strategy, it's a reminder that the America First movement is still strong, and it demands a leader who will stay true to its values.
For Trump, if he will only let me. I am a slave to America.
Nick's decision to focus on these specific issues, immigration moratorium, banning Muslims, and reducing legal immigration, highlights the importance of these policies to the movement. These aren't just talking points, they're the backbone of what the America First movement stands for. By making these the cornerstone of the Michigan operation, Nick is ensuring that the most crucial elements of Trump's platform are front and center in the 2024 campaign. It's a way of keeping the movement's goals alive and ensuring that they remain a priority, even as the political landscape shifts. In the end, Nick's plan to use Trump's own words against him is a masterstroke. It's a strategy that's rooted in the truth, anchored by Trump's own promises, and designed to hold him accountable.
But it is only with Trump's own words. If he wants to stop the pain, he must stop the betrayal of America First.
It's a move that could very well shape the future of the campaign and ensure that the America First movement continues to have a strong voice in the upcoming election. By focusing on what Trump himself has said, Nick is making sure that the Groypers' demands are not only legitimate, but impossible to ignore. Nick Fuentes has made it clear that while the America First movement may not have the system's numbers, money, or power, it does have something far more valuable, the truth. And with a team of 10,000 dedicated Groypers ready to deploy in Michigan, Nick believes that truth is the most powerful weapon they have. This sentiment echoes throughout history, where small groups of dedicated individuals, armed with the truth, have stood up against overwhelming odds and changed the course of events. Nick's rallying cry for Michigan is more than just a call to action. It's a declaration of faith in the power of truth and the conviction that this truth will ultimately prevail. Think back to the stories from the Bible, where prophets and believers spoke truth to power, even when it seemed impossible. Whether it was David standing up to Goliath or Moses confronting Pharaoh, these stories remind us that the truth can be a mighty force, capable of toppling even the most formidable adversaries. Nick's strategy in Michigan is rooted in this same belief, that by standing firm in their convictions and speaking the truth, the Groypers can influence the direction of the campaign and remind Trump of the principles that once made his platform so powerful. This emphasis on truth also draws parallels to the American Revolutionary War. The revolutionaries didn't have the numbers, the money, or the power of the British Empire. But what they did have was a belief in their cause, a belief that they were fighting for something just, something true. Nick's Michigan operation is a modern-day reflection of this same spirit. The Groypers may be up against a system that seems insurmountable, but they are armed with the truth and the conviction that they are fighting for a just cause. This is what gives them the strength to continue, even in the face of overwhelming odds.
Use the words of his own person. We don't have Rupert Murdoch's megaphone through Fox News. But what we do have is at least 10,000 absolute loyalist, America First soldiers.
Nick's belief in the power of truth isn't just rhetoric, it's a strategic advantage. By rallying 10,000 Groypers who are deeply committed to the cause, Nick is creating a force that's motivated by something far more powerful than money or influence. These Groypers aren't just volunteers, they are activists who are willing to fight for what they believe in, and that kind of dedication is hard to match. It's a reminder that in politics, as in life, the most important battles are often won not by the biggest armies, but by the ones with the greatest resolve. In the end, the Michigan operation isn't just about numbers, it's about the power of truth and the belief that this truth can make a difference. Nick's strategy is a testament to the idea that when you have the truth on your side, you have the most powerful weapon of all. It's a strategy that relies on the strength of conviction and the belief that even a small group of dedicated individuals can make a significant impact. The Groypers may not have the system's resources, but they have something far more valuable, the truth, and the determination to use it to save Trump's campaign. Nick Fuentes has always emphasized the importance of real-world activism, and the Michigan operation is no exception. While online activism plays a crucial role in spreading the message and rallying support, Nick understands that nothing can replace the impact of having boots on the ground. The presence of Groypers in Michigan, actively engaging with voters, is a critical part of the strategy. It's a return to the fundamentals of political activism, meeting people where they are, having face-to-face conversations, and making a tangible difference in the outcome of the campaign. The history of successful right-wing movements is filled with examples of the power of grassroots activism. From the early days of the conservative movement in America to the more recent successes of populist campaigns around the world, real-world activism has always been a key factor in driving change. Nick's focus on getting Groypers out in the field in Michigan is a continuation of this tradition. He knows that while social media can amplify the message, it's the personal connections and real-world interactions that can sway voters and build lasting support. Nick's emphasis on boots on the ground is also a recognition of the limitations of online activism. While the internet is a powerful tool, it can only do so much. Real change happens when people are willing to step out from behind their screens and take action in the real world. The Michigan operation is about more than just spreading a message, it's about creating a presence that can't be ignored. By putting Groypers on the ground, Nick is ensuring that the movement has a direct impact on the campaign, one that goes beyond tweets and memes.
From themselves. They don't know what they are supporting. They don't know how bad it has gotten. They don't know what is necessary to make the difference. And what is necessary is to exert the same pressure on the Trump campaign on behalf of America First that any other donor, lobbyist, or special interest exerts on that campaign with their money.
This approach is also a nod to the importance of personal engagement in politics. Voters are more likely to be influenced by someone they've spoken to in person, someone who has taken the time to listen to their concerns and offer solutions. The Groypers in Michigan will be doing just that, engaging with voters on a personal level, making the case for why Trump needs to return to his America First principles. It's a strategy that's as old as politics itself, and one that Nick knows is essential for success. In conclusion, Nick's focus on real-world activism in Michigan is a key component of the Groyper War II strategy. By putting boots on the ground, Nick is ensuring that the movement has a direct and tangible impact on the campaign. It's a strategy that draws on the lessons of history, recognizing that real change requires real-world action. Online activism is important, but when it comes to winning elections, nothing beats the power of personal engagement and the presence of dedicated activists in the field. Nick Fuentes knows this, and that's why the Michigan operation is poised to make a significant impact on the 2024 campaign.
But the Groypers are getting ready for our first deployment to Michigan coming soon. I will begin the countdown starting on Monday. All these Trump surrogates, Trump supporters.
I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, as I will continue posting only the best celebrity, Groyper War, and K-pop content. This was Watch Wave, and until next time, have a good one.
Peacefully, and legitimately and legally to liberate the country. Suit up. It's time to get ready.